Hello friends, welcome to the YouTube channel of Sant Tukaram National Model School. Myself, Abhay Daithankar, your maths teacher, and we were discussing about the chapter measurement from standard 5th. And up till yet, we have discussed about what is meant by perimeter, how to find out the perimeter of a rectangle, square, and a triangle. In this video, we are going to see what is meant by area and what is the unit to measure the area and how to find out the area of a square, rectangle, and triangle. For that, I am going to share my presentation. In the last video, we have seen that the perimeter is nothing but the distance all around of a closed figure. For example, if I take a closed figure like a square, rectangle, triangle, or circle, then if I go from the one corner to the other corner of these closed figures, and if I measure the total distance that I travel, that is being known as the perimeter of these closed figures. For example, if I take this triangle, if I move from this point to the apex of triangle, back to the bottom of the triangle, and yes, to the original point, this is being known as the perimeter of triangle. For circle, we have seen that if I start from a point on the circle, if I go all around the circle, and yes, moves all around the circle, and yes, comes back to the original position, is being known as the perimeter or the circumference of the circle. So what is the perimeter? Perimeter is nothing but the distance all around of a closed figure, and the unit for the perimeter or the perimeter can be measured in centimeters or meters or millimeters using a scale or using a ruler. Now, what about if I am having a plane figure, and if that plane figure is going to cover a particular surface? So we'll take an example of a square. I'm going to stop my presentation so that we'll shift a little bit for. So what is mean by the area of a closed figure? We'll see this with an example. If I take a rectangular paper, you will see opposite sides of this rectangle, they are equal and they are parallel to each other. If I put this rectangle on the board, and you'll see that it is going to cover some surface, and this surface being covered by this closed figure is known as the area of that figure. We'll take another example of a square paper. If I take a square paper, if I put this on the board, the surface being covered by the square paper is known as the area of that square. If I take an example of a circle, if I put the circle on the board, and if I found out how much surface this particular circle is covering, then this is being known as the area of circle. But the problem is that how to measure the surface covered, because surface, it is a two-dimensional figure. However, we can measure the length and the breadth or the diameter of the circle. But what is the unit to measure the surface being covered by a closed figure? For that, I'm going to share my presentation once again. So we'll jump to the two-dimensional figures like a square, rectangle, and a triangle. So what does it mean by area actually? So area, we'll take a rectangle, and yes, the surface covered by the rectangle is known as the area. We'll take a square, the surface covered by the square is known as the area. We'll take a triangle, and the surface covered by the triangle is known as the area. And so actually, if we take different shapes, so the surface covered by a plane figure is known as its area. Okay, fine. Now, we can measure the length or the perimeter of any closed figure using millimeter, centimeter, or meter. What about how we can measure the milk or how we can measure the water in a particular bottle? Well, we are having for measuring the how many quantity of water or milk is there in a particular pot. We use either milliliter, liter, or kiloliter. What about the weight of a vegetable or a weight of something? We can measure the weight of something by using grams, kilograms. or these are all units for the measurement of these quantities. For example, measurement of length, measurement of quantity, then we can say measurement of the volume, or we can say the measurement of the weight. But how to measure the area? Because it is the surface covered. Well, when we talking about the surface covered, it's not a single length. We are having two dimensions over there. Because a plane figure is going to have two dimensions, the length and the breadth. So how to measure the area which is being covered by a two-dimensional figure? For that, we'll take a square. So how to measure the area? Let us see the concept of what is meant by a unit square. We'll take a square of 1 centimeter by 1 centimeter. All the sides of the square are 1 centimeter by 1 centimeter. And this square is known as the unit square. So we are going to take the help of this square to measure the area of a particular figure. How? Let us see. If I take and we say that the surface covered by this particular square is 1 square centimeter. Because we have taken a certain distance and we said that this is going to be the 1 meter. Okay, same as here, the surface covered by a square of 1 centimeter by 1 centimeter, we are going to call it as a 1 square centimeter. Now, if I take 4 such squares, 1, 2, 3, and 4, what figure you get again? This figure is nothing but another larger square. And what are the dimensions of this figure? Well, the one side will be of 2 centimeter, another side will be of 2 centimeter. So this is a square of 2 centimeter by 2 centimeter. If we take the 4 squares, what will be the area that is being covered by these 4 squares? The area covered by these 4 squares naturally will be 4 square centimeter, because it is going to make a square of 2 centimeter by 2 centimeter, and the area covered by this larger square, that is of 2 centimeter by 2 centimeter, will be 4 square centimeter. Now, how? See what magic we are having. If I multiply side with the side, if I multiply 2 centimeter with the 2 centimeter, we are getting 4. And what is this? It is nothing but the area of the square. So how to find out the area of a square? Area of square can find out by multiplying side with the side, or we can write that the side square. And what is the unit for the area? The unit for area is either square centimeter, square meter, or square unit, because we are going to take the base or the unit square as a 1 centimeter by 1 centimeter. We are actually going to measure the area using this square of 1 centimeter by 1 centimeter. So if I take a square of 2 centimeter by 2 centimeter, you are able to see we can fit 4 such squares of 1 centimeter by 1 centimeter in this larger square, and is known as that the area of the square is 4 centimeter. This is about how to find the area of a square. In the next video, we'll see how to find out the area of a rectangle and triangle. Till then, goodbye.